Good morning, welcome to this video today from Worcestershire Careers Hub, celebrating National Careers Week. My name is Judy Gibbs, I'm the Director of Skills here at the Worcestershire Local Enterprise Partnership. Today we'll be looking at pathways and transitions, so looking at post-16, post-18 pathways and where young people can go within Worcestershire. We'll be talking to a range of organisations from further and higher education, local sixth form college, and our Worcestershire apprenticeship team, as well as even looking at how we can start our own business here in Worcestershire. I'm joined today by Sally Johnson. She's the Senior Leader for Teaching and Learning at Worcester Sixth Form in Worcester. So thanks for joining us, Sally.
My pleasure, very nice to meet you, thank you.
So Sally, tell us about Worcester Sixth Form and the courses you offer there.
So Worcester Sixth Form College is a post-16 provider in the city of Worcester, so we're just on the edge, and we offer the widest range of post-16 courses in the county. So our aim is to try and get students to achieve the best possible outcomes, and we offer lots of support so they make a really good start when they come to the college.
Where do your students come from, Sally? Is it just Worcester or is it the whole of Worcestershire?
So we have strong links with the feeder schools in the city of Worcester, but we also have lots of students who come from Worcestershire as a whole and even from outside of the county. So it's really good to work with partner schools and to expand a little bit more, and we've got lots of kind of opportunities for students to liaise with each other, and we put a lot of that into our liaison activities before they come to us.
Fantastic. So what qualifications does a student typically kind of walk away from the sixth form with?
Okay, so we offer applied vocational courses, A-level courses, and we do offer some level 2 courses for those who perhaps didn't get the best outcomes from their GCSE grades. So there's lots of enrichment opportunities as well to supplement those kind of general qualifications as well.
A real range of options there for a young person. It's almost something for everyone, really.
Definitely, yes.
And tell us, you know, as a student at Worcester Sixth Form, what does a normal day look like? What time do they start? When do they finish? What does that day look like?
We start the day at 8:50 and finish at 4:10. So you would typically study 3 subjects, and each subject has 4 hours 40 minutes of teaching. So you might find that you start with a tutor or you start with some independent study time and then you go to your lesson. So you might finish a little bit earlier, but we have designed something called the Worcester Working Week, which directs our students to making the most of their time here. So every effort is put into getting the most successful outcomes. And some of that time would be enrichment time as well. So it's a bit different to general school timetables because you obviously are an older student, you pick the subjects that you want to study.
And I'm right in thinking as well that at Worcester Sixth Form, you do a lot to make sure that students go out into industry to get experience of the vocations that they're looking to go into.
Yes, so we offer professional study programs, so we tailor make the careers advice that we give them, so you could pick that as an enrichment opportunity. And then we have the student services department who arrange work experience for them. And we get links from industry, they come in and offer advice, and it's really good. So for example, we have strong links with Worcester University, so if you were interested in midwifery or teaching, lecturers or past students would come in and deliver career sessions for our students. So we've really got that eye on the future, because if you want to measure success, it's where you are 3 years down the line, 4 years down the line. So yeah, we pride ourselves on that. So
absolutely, that's really positive and a really great experience for a young person. So after completing a course with you, where do young people typically go? So once they finish with this, we'll finish with the sixth form, what's the next step for them?
Okay, so 500 of our students this year applied to UCAS. So we have lots of students who go on to university to study degrees, also degree apprenticeships, and some do go into employment straight away, or others go and do volunteering work and maybe travel, work abroad for a bit. So yeah, we're really proud of the number of students that we get into university, and lots of our courses are pushed to help them make success of their applications as well.
And in terms of finding out more, so if a student wants to come and study at Worcester Sixth Form, how does someone find out more about the options you have available?
Okay, so we have a website dedicated to this. There's an area where they could come and look at a virtual tour. There are little videos that each subject has done, so you could get information there. And we usually have our traditional open events. If you direct our kind of potential students to www.wsfc.ac.uk, you'll find all the materials there. To have a really good look around virtually.
Thank you very much for your time, Sally. That's been really great insight into the sixth form and what you do, and thank you for your time. In this second session, I'd like to welcome Julia BREAKWELL. She's the Vice Principal for Information Systems and Student Experience here at Heart of Worcestershire College, and also Luke Carney, the Uni Connect Officer from the Heart of Worcestershire College. So thank you both for joining me.
Thank you for inviting us.
Yeah, thank you, Judy, for inviting us.
So Heart of Worcestershire is one of our 3 further education colleges in the county, and the biggest.
Indeed.
You've got many campuses, haven't you guys?
Yeah, we have. So we are spread across 4 campuses. We're in Malvern, we're in Bromsgrove, we're in Redditch, and we're in Worcester.
And tell us a little bit about Heart of Worcestershire College and the variety of courses that you offer.
Okay, so the college specialises in vocational and technical and professional qualifications. That's what it's about. It's about building those skills and behaviours and competencies in young people, helping them gain those crucial workplace skills. So we've got a range of courses. They're starting for young people and adults with no formal requirements for education, entry requirements, right through to our higher education, apprentices and professional qualifications. We've got a range of subject courses that we deliver, from art and design, automotive, we've got computing, construction, health and social care, hospitality, hairdressing, science, sport, tourism. We've got support for our special educational needs in our base area at college, health and social care, games design. Have I missed anything, Luke?
No,
Public services, sport, trying to think of anything else, plumbing, have I said construction, engineering?
Yeah.
A whole host of courses.
So something for everyone, really.
Indeed.
And, how do the courses work? Are they full-time? Are they part-time? Are they apprenticeships, or is it a mix of everything?
We've got a mix. So the college has got a mix. So we've got, as I said, we've got an apprenticeship provision, we've got a higher education provision. But if we're focusing and looking at perhaps the full-time students, yeah, we've got a lot of full-time students spread across those campuses, delivering those particular courses that we've got at all those different levels. It's a real mix, really, of things. I think probably one thing to say about the college itself is that is one of the things that's the strength of the college, is there is a real diverse mix of students in there. So it's a very adult environment. The idea is to make it an adult environment. Students say they like that about it, because you're coming into further education. It's about that next steps, that world of work, that employability, and we start those behaviours with them when they come to college straight away, and that's what's really important, I think. We've got some really amazing facilities, really real work facilities for those learners, where they actually work with the practical element. So if you're looking at their course, they do a lot of theory, but they also do a lot of practical, and that's what's really important. That's what's probably very, very unique about coming to a further education college.
And what's a typical day for a student like?
It's a real mixture. So students have different days. They're never the same. They've got different elements in their course, which I think is really important for them to understand. So you'll do a mixture of theory. So some days you may do some theory work, you may be in a classroom, then later that day you might be in the practical element. So you might be in a salon, or you might be in a workshop, or in a kitchen, you might be working with clients, talking to the public, and then there'll also be a work experience element. So sometimes you might be out, it's been out in an employer, or you might be doing a project or a competition. The other aspect of the programme is we've got what we call Thrive, which is our tutorial program. So that's about building resilience, young people, their personal development, learning about health and well-being, how to look after themselves, how to keep them safe, and planning their career. So we have that element. So that might be happening that day. They've got mandatory digital skills that students get involved in. So they have to do that independent digital skills management. And there's also some English and maths. not always everybody's favorite, but incredibly important and well needed, and we know that that's needed in the world of work. So they also have a bit of that. So it will depend on each day how much of that they do. There might be all practical day, it might be a mixture of some of those things, but that's how it works. And every day is a bit different, so it's not all classroom based. Every day they might come in and spend the whole day with customers. So if you're in the catering department, you might come in and be working with customers in the evening. If you're a student on a childcare course, you'll be in 1 week in the classroom completely, and the next week you'll be out in a childcare setting. So it really is depending on the course and the subject and the vocational that you've chosen, really.
So it's fantastic then, isn't it? Because it's kind of not like school, but yet at the same time, you've got some of that teaching, but also it's kind of a step into employment because it gives you a bit of a safe space in terms of practicing some of those skills, understanding if that's the career for you, etc. So where do people go typically when they finish at Heart of Worcestershire College? What's the sort of next step?
Then, well, there's a whole route within the college. So obviously, as I said, the students can start with us at entry level, and they come in at any route. So it's difficult to be exact on that, but you'll have some learners that will come in at entry and move into level 1 courses, level 2 courses, level 3, and progress straight through that vocational area and maybe go into higher education, or they might go into an apprenticeship. Some might move across, so they come in a more generic level course and then perhaps choose their vocational as they go through. Some might start on a level 1 business course and then move into a level 2 hospitality course later. It's really depending on the learner, and it's very learner led, and I think that's the thing that's really important, is around the individual, because there's those opportunities. Learners might stay with us 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, and it kind of really depends on them and their path. Some courses lead very quickly into apprenticeships, so the skill level that they get to at level 2 can lead them straight into an apprenticeship. Some courses require them to stay longer with us. It just really depends on that individual, that program, and obviously their individual development in themselves and how they feel confident they are to go out into that world of work. We've also obviously got the HE element. Luke, you might want to talk about that.
Yes, so basically with that, a lot of our students who go off to universities, but actually could study at college within the HE department at college, which is absolutely fabulous, by the way. So normally students might actually go into that with the element of working with the students who actually go into HE, and that it's just making sure they're on the right courses to get into HE. So we do a lot of work around the UCAS application forms to help students be more prepared for university. Obviously, we deliver workshops within the college about university and all things higher education. We basically work alongside our own HE department as well to make sure students are aware that they can actually move on through college with the HE department.
Personalised career service, haven't you, at the college? So every individual kind of goes through a personalised process, understanding what their next steps might be. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, so we tend to see students on a one-to-one, obviously one-to-one interviews, but we don't like to call them interviews. Like, we just like to sit down with a student, discuss their career opportunities, making sure they're on the right course. We tend to work with students with the careers team, and when I speak to students, I make sure that when they start picking these next courses, they start thinking of the future and work their way backwards. Again, this will help them make sure they're on the right course. When students first come to the college for the first time after school, many of them might not even had a careers appointment previously. So what we tend to do is we tend to see those students early on, just to make sure that they are on the right course. They know what they can get from this course. And if there's any issues, then we can actually think, well, actually, you might not be on the right course. You might be thinking about a different course. But 9 times out of 10, they are on the right course and they are seeing careers advisors at school. But we just help them and make sure that they actually are engaging with the careers team, because we have got a brilliant careers team at the college, and we do try and see as many students as we can, although sometimes that can be very hard to do, but we try to reach out to as many learners as we can, and actually we work along their needs as well. So it's all about the students. So all our careers appointments, it's all about the students.
Running alongside that, Judy, is that's the careers team, which is like a dedicated careers team, but we also have a personal tutorial system and personal tutors. So each of those students, when they come here, will be allocated their own personal tutor. And that's not an academic support tutor that you might get in a school or different setting. That's an actual kind of a person that's there to support them through their program. They deliver the Thrive program, which is the program around personal development, but they also do lots of one-to-ones with learners, which again are around discussing their careers at different points during the year, them thinking around. And like I said, some learners start with us on one career path and then they decide to change that, or an opportunity might come out for them for an apprenticeship. You know, there's a whole host, and it's kind of having that individual one-on-one conversation with someone that kind of helps us help them to reach their aspirations and their goals.
Which is fantastic, isn't it? Because, you know, it's, as I say, it's really personalized, but it's a really supportive environment, which is really great for some students. So very good. Can you tell us a bit about T-levels, what they are and what the Heart of Worcestershire's plans are?
Yes, so yeah, we've got a couple of T-levels. Let me get these names right. So it's digital production and development and childcare education. And T-levels, if you think of T-levels, it's pretty much an apprenticeship back to front. So a lot of the work's going to be done in the education base, and then 20% is going to be in the workplace. The T-levels are actually built around working collaboratively with employers and businesses. So it's literally business led. And that's what we've got planned for the Heart of Worcestershire College regarding the T-levels. I will say, on the website, we have got information about the T-levels. So if anyone is thinking about T-levels or want to know more information, they can visit us on our website, at the How College website, and they can have a look, and it tells a little bit more about how T-levels work. But we are...
And a T-level is equivalent to A-levels, is that right?
Yeah, I think it's 3 A-levels, 3 A-levels, and I think you need to be GCSE 9 to 4. Yeah, 5 9 to 4. Yeah, 5 9 to 4. Yeah, and it's 3 A-levels.
With English and maths, there is a requirement for English and maths on those programs. Qualification for those. But yeah, and they are that kind of industry led us with a lot of technical knowledge involved in those courses. They're 2 years.
And very much the way that the government wants to see kind of vocational training moving forward. So we're going to see more of these T-levels, aren't we, over the next few years?
Yeah, we'll be launching more shortly. Obviously, for September we've got 2 coming online, but we will be launching more as the level 3 courses that we run. They'll map against those. There's 15, isn't there 15 technical routes? I think that's 15, isn't it? And so they will all start to come on. So that will start to change.
And the 2 that you're doing is so important to Worcestershire. You know, obviously digital production, we've got a real shortage of people with digital skills in the county, but also, you know, public sector is such a huge dominance of employment in the county. So both of those, you know, we know that the young people that kind of take part in those have got a real opportunity post their T-levels course in terms of employment, etc. So, you know, we would really encourage people to consider those as options for September.
Yeah, definitely.
So tell us, how do people find it? You talked a little bit about how we can find out about T-levels, but how do students and parents find out more about the opportunities at Heart of Worcestershire?
Okay, there's many ways to do this really. And to be honest with you, the best way to do it is obviously check the website. So you can come onto our website at How College. It gives you all the information about the different courses we do, the levels of courses that we do. You can actually scout around the website. That's absolutely fine. You can also look through our prospectuses that we've got, it's full of information. They're really good. So if you look through that as well. Social media is another way you can get up-to-date information that's coming out of the college, and it pinpoints to certain events or activities that's coming on in the college. The most important thing to do is attend open events, if that's virtually or when things get back to normal. I'm sure it will, hopefully sooner than later. But go to open events, ask questions. If you've got any idea about what courses you want to do, always have a plan B. So when you go to these open days, you can explore different courses, hit the apprenticeship team, because I know the apprenticeship team will be there as well. So just make sure you have plan A, plan Bs ready to go. And just do your research before you really think about what course you want to do, because it might be something you might not thought of. So really hit the website, social media, and 100% turn up to open days, because that is where you will fully understand the college environment. You get to meet people, and you get to meet some of the staff as well.
On the website, there's quite a lot of virtual tours, Judy, so students might want to look at those, because you can click in and you can actually look at, and there's videos from staff on there talking about the individual areas as well, so you can start to kind of gather that information before you come to the open day with your questions.
I really like the pathways work that you've done as well. So you've done some fantastic resources about where courses lead, and kind of mapping backwards. So, you know, if you want to be a mechanical engineer, what courses you might need to do and how hard Worcestershire fits within that. So I'd really encourage people to look at those.
We've got quite an award-winning prospectus there, and if you look in the prospectus, you'll see some really good information around that labour market information and exactly what's going on in the county, salary scales, kind of jobs you can go into, careers from the courses. So it's really, really worth looking at.
So Luke, how do people actually apply to come to Heart of Worcestershire College? Is there a process they have to follow?
Well, the best thing to do is about applying for college is really think about what course you want to do a little bit of research, like we said earlier about turning open events and checking out the website. Once you know about your course and you've got your plan A and your plan B in place, then you can just go over to the website, click the apply button, and you can actually go through the different stages of the applying stage. What will happen is once you've filled in the application form, you'll have to give a little bit of a personal statement about why you want to be on this course. And then once all that goes through, then you'll get contacted by the admissions team to arrange an interview. In the meantime, if you've got any issues, you can contact the admissions team directly, and the number you can find on the How College website. So also, I'd just like to add about Careers Coach as well. So part of the website, we have got Careers Coach, and this is open to everyone really who are thinking about different careers, and it's a good way to explore that, where you can have a look at different careers, you can build a CV. It's really a good program to use, so we recommend that people actually check out that as well.
Fantastic. So thank you both, that's been really insightful, and obviously, you know, encourage people to check out the links that will be available at the end of this piece. But thank you, Luke, thank you, Julia, that's been really helpful. So next today, I want to talk about higher education and moving to university. So I'm joined by our fantastic local university, the University of Worcester. This is Gemma Pattinson-Thomas. And Gemma, you're the Graduate Ambassador Manager for the university. So thank you for joining me, and great opportunity to talk about the experience at the University of Worcester. So with that in mind, can you start off and tell us a little bit about the university, the courses that you do?
The University of Worcester is a close-knit and high-achieving community where students are supported to succeed at every level. And we've recently been shortlisted for the University of the Year award in the Times Higher Education Awards, which has been a really great achievement, and also in lots of other categories for their awards as well. We were also nominated for Outstanding Contribution to the Equality, Diversity and Inclusion, Widening Participation and Outreach Initiative. So it's been a really good time to be part of the university. It's an exciting place to be. There's a wide variety of courses on offer, from sort of careers focused courses like nursing, teaching, all the way through to arts and degrees like English.
University is very much focused around our kind of local needs, isn't it, in terms of that sort of high dominance of public sector employment that we have. You've obviously got, you know, great offer in health and education, as well as kind of moving into the business side as well. So it's really helpful for us in Worcestershire, your offer. Can you outline, you know, what does a university look like for a young person? So what's the length of the course, you know, what's the format of a day and the qualifications they might study?
Sure. University courses can range anything from 2 to 4 years. They can be longer than that if students choose a part-time option or if they go on to further study. And there's a range of qualifications on offer, from foundation degrees all the way up to postgraduate study. And for that reason, courses vary in format from course to course, depending on the subject that's chosen. For example, a degree in one of our health professions, such as nursing or teaching, would have a very different format to a degree in English, for example. If you did a degree in nursing, you do a lot of practical sessions and placements. If you did a degree in English, it'd be more academic and more focused in teaching and reading.
So you mentioned there, Gemma, about placements, etc. I know a lot of the university courses are really embedded into kind of careers. Can you talk to us a bit about, you know, how you work with students to understand the future following university and their careers?
We do lots with students, helping them to progress onto their future careers. So for the entire time that they're a student at the university, and also for a number of years afterwards, they have access to our careers service.
Mhm.
And as you say, a lot of our courses lead on to specific careers anyway, such as nursing or teaching. And for that reason, we have a very high employability rate from our courses at the University of Worcester. And that makes it really good for students to get full-time employment after they graduate. We're actually in the top 10 for that.
Oh, wow. That's really good. And do your students, you know, does the typical, is the typical University of Worcester student, are they a Worcestershire resident, or do you pull from all across the country?
We do have a lot of students that come from the West Midlands area, but we also have students that come nationally and also international students. So we have a wide variety of different types of students at the university.
Fantastic. And how does someone find out more about the university? What's the sort of application route? How can they find out whether the course is right for them?
Okay, so one of the best ways to find out more about the university is have a quick look at the university website. From there, there's lots of different ways to find out more. So you can do things like book onto an open day, book onto a taster event. You can chat to current students via the main website. So you can find out a lot of information on there. I'd also direct students to look at the UCAS website. The way that you apply to university is generally through the UCAS application system. So that's another really useful website that has lots of sort of impartial advice on making applications to higher education.
Fantastic. Is there an open day or a virtual tour that students can have a look at so they can get to sort of see the environment of the university?
Yeah, there's lots of virtual videos and tours on our YouTube channel, which you can have a look at.
Fantastic, that's really helpful. Thanks, Gemma. That's been a really great insight into the university. And you know, as I said earlier, you know, the university is so important to Worcestershire. You know, the fact that 1 in 4 people in Worcestershire work in the public sector, and that obviously you're covering those health and education services is really, really great. So thank you very much, and thanks for your time today. For this session, I'm joined by the lovely Kim Cook. She's the fantastic lead of the Worcestershire Apprenticeship Programme, working for the Worcestershire Training Providers Association. So Kim represents Worcestershire Apprenticeships, which is the county's impartial apprenticeship brand. So Kim, first question, you know, obviously we've all been through quite a lot recently, employers have been really challenged. Are apprenticeships still a viable option for a career?
Yes, absolutely. The demand now is starting to increase. It's been a bit slow through the pandemic, obviously, but there's a lot more vacancies going online now, and employers are really recognising the value that an apprenticeship can bring to their business. So we're starting to see vacancies in many different job roles across many different sectors, from very small businesses up to very large businesses.
That's a really good positive, isn't it? It's a really good positive that employers are opening back up and seeing it as a really good succession planning tool. Obviously, Kim, you and I know that 1 in 3 people in Worcestershire's workforce is over 50, and very much employers do see apprenticeships as a really positive succession plan, don't they?
They do indeed, yeah. Right from entry level up to degree level, with more and more employers looking at the higher levels now.
So tell us, you know, if a young person wants to find out about apprenticeships, you know, what's the Worcestershire Apprenticeship Hub for? How does it work? What can it do?
Okay, so the Worcester Apprenticeship Hub, it's a one-stop shop that anyone can come to get impartial information, advice and guidance about apprenticeships. So our aim is to promote apprenticeships and to grow them across Worcestershire. So we support young people, parents, employers, schools, any organisation really that wants some information about apprenticeships. So that's what the hub is there for.
Fantastic. And can you, you know, for someone who doesn't know about apprenticeships, I know you talked about the different levels. Can you kind of outline that for us? You know, what do the different levels look like? How's it delivered? What's the sort of length of time that apprenticeships take, and kind of a bit about pay? That would be helpful.
Yeah, okay. So an apprenticeship now can be done by anyone, whether you're a school leaver, a university leaver, or if you're someone in employment and just want to use an apprenticeship to upskill, and they're for all ages, so there's no age limit on them anymore. And there's over 1,500 types of different apprenticeships that are aligned to job roles. They start at level 2, which is equivalent to 5 GCSEs. Level 3 is equivalent to 2 A levels, and then they go level 4, 5, 6, 7. And these are the higher levels right up to degree. So an apprenticeship is an employed position. It's a full-time employed position, and depending on the level that you take, it can take between 1 and 4 years. 5 years if you went from real entry level right through to degree level. There's a national minimum apprenticeship wage, which from April is £4.30 an hour. But if you look at some of the current vacancies in Worcestershire, you can see that the salaries are much higher than that, with many apprenticeships now being offered with a wage for the job. So there's some really good salaries now. It's worth knowing the average wage for an apprenticeship across the UK as a starting wage is £257 a week. So don't let the £4.30 an hour put you off, because a lot of employers do value them and pay a lot more.
That's really positive, isn't it? It's really positive and shows that employer commitment that they're paying those higher starting rates to get the right young people into their business. Apprenticeships now are a real viable option, aren't they, for young people as an alternative to university? A lot of young people we're finding, aren't we, are looking at this as a way to progress to getting degree level qualifications in the county.
Yeah, definitely.
In terms of the training, so what does an apprentice's sort of week look like?
Okay, so every apprenticeship has got 3 components to it. So there's you as the apprentice, there's your employer who employs you and pays your wage, and then there's the training provider who delivers the training part of the apprenticeship, and that can be a college, a university, private independent training provider. So there's 3 of you working together, and then the training part of the apprenticeship can be done in many different ways. So most people sort of think, oh, you know, I've got to go to college 1 day a week, but not necessarily. A lot of apprenticeships now can all be delivered in the workplace, or some will still require that day release, and it could be at a college or a private training provider's premises, or it could be done on block where you go for a week every 3 months, but the rest of the time you're at work. But 20% of your apprenticeship has got to be spent on training and study, and you're paid for that in your wage. So the apprenticeship is a partnership delivery.
So it's kind of the equivalent of 1 day a week almost.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, the 20% equates to about 1 day a week, but it can be delivered in lots of different ways.
What I really like about the apprenticeship model is the fact that, you know, you're earning whilst you're learning, but also that you're getting to embed that learning all the time. So, you know, going into college, you're learning, or to your training provider, you're learning something new, and then you're able to take that back to the workplace and apply that straight away. It's really, really positive.
I was just going to say, employers actually recognise that, because, you know, they recognise that they need new skills coming into their business, and the apprenticeships are the way to get those skills in.
What happens at the end of an apprenticeship, you know, so when they complete, what's next for that young person?
Okay, so it's worth knowing that 85% of apprentices stay in employment after their apprenticeship, and almost 65% of them stay with the same employer, but some do leave and go to other employers. But there's always a progression opportunity in an apprenticeship. So no matter what level you start at, there's a progression. So, for instance, if you start at a level 3 apprenticeship, you could progress up to a degree apprenticeship. You might not even stay in that same discipline. So you might start as an admin apprentice, for example, at level 2 or level 3, but then you might move into the HR department and do a HR apprenticeship at a higher level. And similar in construction, you might start as a carpenter at level 3, but then progress into management, into site management. So there's lots of progression pathways now in apprenticeships. But I think you're right, the most important thing to remember is you're gaining qualifications, you're getting real working skills, you're earning a wage, and you're getting no debt at all while you're doing this.
Yeah, we have a few, as you know, in within our team, and you know, we've got fantastic examples of people who've progressed from business admin into sort of specialist areas, because people do believe, don't they, that apprenticeships are very much vocational, trade-based pieces, when actually that's not the case, is it? You can study a whole raft of different subjects.
Yeah, and if you look at some of the big employers like the police, the NHS, a lot of the law firms, where it was a traditional route to go to university to get your degree, those employers are now recognising actually the apprenticeship is a much better way, because you're learning on the job while you're getting that degree, and it's a lot more valuable than an academic route on its own.
And the employers like it because they're sort of learning in their way, aren't they? They're learning in their business. So therefore, you know, they understand how it works for that specific business, as opposed to looking at how theoretically it's done. And then it might be actually slightly different for that specific business that they then go to work for. And in terms of, you know, finding out about them. So if you're a young person and, you know, you're thinking apprenticeships are for you, how do you find out about vacancies in the county to apply for?
Okay, so obviously Worcester Apprenticeship Hub, that's what we're here for. It's a great starting point. We've got loads of good resources on the website and case studies of other young people that have done different pathways. We've got a live feed to all the vacancies that we pull down from the national vacancy site. So you can go onto the hub and just look at vacancies in Worcestershire, which makes it a lot easier because you can drill down to like Bromsgrove, Pershore, Malvern, you know, more of a local area. And obviously we're there to help, so you can give us a call. We've got an email, we've got a phone line, we've got a chat line. So any questions at all, they can come to us. There's also the government website where you would actually go. It's called Find an Apprenticeship, and if you Google Find an Apprenticeship, it comes up. So the government website has every vacancy in the country on it, and on there you can go in, put your postcode in, and you can search within a mile radius from your home address. So, you know, think, well, I can travel 15 miles, so you can search within 15 miles. So then you could pull up surrounding areas like Hereford, Gloucester, Birmingham, not just the Worcestershire ones if you live on the borders. But it's really easy to sort of search the vacancies and have a look at them. And then we can help you with setting up your account, doing your application, applying for vacancies. So it's quite an easy thing to do.
And is it worth young people approaching training providers direct themselves who offer apprenticeships?
Yeah, so the specialist training providers, so you can go to your local college, or if you want to go into, say, for instance, engineering, there are training providers that just specifically do engineering, and they will all take online applications direct as well. You can go on their websites and apply, you can phone them up. A lot of them have open evenings, and I would suggest going on the website and having a look when the open evenings are and go along to them. Attend any apprenticeship shows. Hopefully we'll have one in Worcestershire later this year, so come along to that. It's a great way to go and find out, you know, what apprenticeships are available and to talk to local providers. So
fantastic, thank you, Kim. That's been really, really helpful. I mean, you know, as many of you will know, we're hugely proactive around apprenticeships. We really believe it's the way for us as a county in terms of moving forward. As we say, it provides an alternative to university. For some young people, it's a better route way based on their skills, although, you know, obviously university is a better route way for others, so it's very personal. But we would really encourage young people and parents to have a look at the Worcestershire apprenticeship site. Kim, what's the website address?
It's www.walksapprenticeships.org.uk. And I would also say follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram, and that's just @WalksApprentice. And one thing I would say specifically for young people, because we speak to a lot of young people leaving school who have literally no idea what they want to do, and they're thinking apprenticeship, but they don't know what to type. So I always suggest to them, think about what your skills are, what you enjoy doing, and then literally look at all the vacancies that are on there at the moment, because you will look at some and think, oh, actually, I quite fancy that one. And bear in mind that whatever you do when you leave school and the apprenticeship you first do isn't the career you're going to keep for the rest of your life. You may start one route and then totally change after a few years and go into something different, but you gain invaluable skills that will fit any job after you've done an apprenticeship.
Fantastic, thank you, Kim. That's been really insightful. So as Kim said, herself and the team are available at the end of the Worcestershire Apprenticeships phone line and email, etc., to kind of get in touch. And as Kim said, you know, follow them on social media. They post all the time about vacancies that they find out about that may not be in those public sites yet. So please do get in touch with the team at Worcestershire Apprenticeships. Thank you, Kim, for your time. It's really great overview and insight into apprenticeships. So for one of the things I wanted to cover in National Careers Week is for our young people who are 18 and who are actually thinking that what they would like to do moving forward is they've got a great idea and they'd like to start a business. So with that in mind, I've invited Phoebe Dawson, who's the Director of Business Engagement here at Worcestershire Local Enterprise Partnership, to talk to us a little bit about what we can do to help a young person in that situation. So Phoebe, can you tell us a little bit about Worcestershire Business Central, who you are and what you do?
Of course. Hi. So Worcestershire Business Central is the Worcestershire Growth Hub, and so we exist to help businesses to start and to grow and to develop and to basically just support all businesses across Worcestershire's patch.
If a young person, you know, kind of leaving school has what they think is a good idea and they want to kind of develop that and perhaps look at how they can grow a business, what support can Business Central give to them?
So we've got a wealth of support available to them, and some of that is funded and actually involves grants and things, but also more importantly, I think we've got the opportunity for them to just sort of sound their idea out with one of our advisors. So what we would encourage them to do is contact the Growth Hub team. They would then speak to one of our business engagement officers, and if they felt it suitable, they would put them in touch with one of the business engagement managers. Similarly, at the same time as that, we probably put them on a business startup course. So we have access to courses which are run by a local provider, and they can fund that young person through a course which covers everything to do with starting a business. So that's looking at, you know, the finances and all of these sort of terminology that perhaps people don't necessarily understand and think, oh God, that's really scary. I don't really want to think about that too much. But similarly, you know, how are they going to market their product? Is their product a one-off? And if so, you know, do they need to think about intellectual property, copyright, those sorts of things? So all of that's covered in this course. And then alongside that, we'll be having conversations with them, offering them sort of mentoring and advice. And there's other courses around as well. So we can put them in touch with the university who do summer schools occasionally and things. So the support is out there, and we would just welcome them, giving this a call to find out more.
So what if a young person kind of already has a bit of a business, so a bit of a business that they're running from their bedroom, from their kitchen, you know, what can we do to help them grow that and to kind of take that out there in a wider sense?
We've got real experience of this. I think the pandemic has seen lots of people starting businesses at home. Some of them have done it through boredom, some of them have done it through necessity. Some people have been made redundant and thought, how am I going to invest? Now is the time for me to do what I've always wanted to do. So the support is there. I mean, what we would do is we'd encourage them to just pick up the phone and give us a call or have a look at our website. And then, like I said, I think there's a lot of support that we can do through mentoring and through supporting them through those sorts of next steps. We want to really identify what it is about their business that works and what they're struggling with, and also what their aspirations are. There are some people who perhaps just want to be able to look for a property or something, so actually they can deal with it. Their marketing's really good, they've got real interest, but they've outgrown their kitchen, or they've outgrown their living room, or they need storage because they can't, you know, their partner's saying, no more you using the spare bedroom as a manufacturing workshop. So, you know, we can help them find the right property. We can put them in touch with people who do similar. We can help them to access the right sort of finance and you know, and as well as all the general support that I mentioned earlier.
And one of those, you mentioned there, you know, that you can put them in touch with similar businesses. So does that work in a sort of mentoring type way?
Yeah, so at the moment we're running a peer networks, and you know, there are some parameters around the peer networks where they want businesses with a certain amount of employees to be on it. But what we are in a position to do at the moment is we've recognised that it's a really good scheme. So what we're looking for is businesses that are interested in accessing peer networks. We know that there are other schemes similar run across the county, so we can put them in touch with that. So that will be when they sit and they talk with other people going through those similar challenges. You know, there's a scheme that's run through the Hive, and again, Growth Hub are in a position to be able to direct to that support, and they can sit and they can, you know, go through those teething problems and realize they're not actually alone in all this. And I think it's really clear that so often when we actually get lots of calls from people who are parents or uncles or friends of people who they've heard have got this really good idea and they want to be able to offer the best advice for them. So quite often we'll be contacted not by the person with the business themselves, but by someone who's trying to help and guide them. And, you know, so I would always say mentoring is great. Like, go and ask people, get that advice, seek that guidance from within your network. But then when you get to that point and you think I need a little bit more, then that's when the Growth Hub could come in and help as well.
Fantastic, super. Thank you very much, Phoebe. That's been really, really helpful. So tell me, how does someone get in touch with Business Central?
So we are on the internet, obviously, so you can go onto our website, business-central.co.uk. You can drop the team an email at info@business-central.co.uk. And yeah, just pick up the phone as well. So it's 01905 677 888.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your time, Phoebe. That's been really helpful. I'm sure we've got lots of young people out there with really great ideas that want to think about how they can start a business as their next step. Thank you for joining me today to learn more about pathways available locally for both our post-16 and 18 students and the options available here in Worcestershire. We heard from Higher Education, University of Worcester, one of our great further education colleges, the Heart of Worcestershire College, Sixth Form, Worcester Sixth Form, and as well as Worcestershire Apprenticeships and Business Central about business startup courses, all really great route ways for students to consider. What I would encourage people to do is have a look at the Skills for Worcestershire website. We'll make the links available at the end of this session. Within the Skills for Worcestershire website, there are some documents called some magazines called the Choices magazines, and these Choices magazines will help you to think through your next steps. So they'll ask you about what you're interested in and kind of help you to focus your direction moving forward. There's even a parent guide, and the parent guide is about how you as a parent can support your young person in terms of making that next decision, and what you can do to talk to them to kind of try to get them to conclude themselves as to what might be the best options and how you can support and advise them. So thank you very much. Don't forget, we've got the Careers Worcestershire helpline. So if your young person or you as a young person would like more help and support, then please give the Careers Worcestershire helpline a call. But please check out Skills for Worcestershire, and that's www.skills4worcestershire.co.uk. Thank you.